Good morning, my dear students. Today we will start the new poem from our syllabus, that is 2.2, The Sower, which was written by Victor Hugo. And if you go through the text, you will understand that there are two writers or the poets of the poem. Just the question might have arisen in your mind, why the poem has two poets? Because first poet is the original poet of the poem, and later on the second poet or poetess who has translated the poem from French to English. That's why the poem has two poets. The first poet, Victor Hugo, he was poet, novelist and dramatist of the 19th century. He was the most important of the French romantic writers, and he was from France. That's why, though he regarded in France as one of the country's greatest poet, he is better known for novels as Notre Dame de Paris, which was written in 1938, and Les Miserables. So these are all beautiful novels written by Victor Hugo, and he was popular for his poetry. Basically, Tarulata Dutt, she was the fond of the poet. Okay, the second poetess, that is Tarulata Dutt, she was a Bengali poet, also known as Toru. She has wrote in two languages, English and French. She was born on 4th March 1856 in Kolkata. She is considered as the first Indian poetess to write verses in English as well as in France or the French. She translated dozens of poems and completed a novel before her death at the age of 21. Her poems such as Sita, Lotus and Our Casuarina Tree are well loved. So look at her peculiarity, where she has started her translation at the early age, and she has translated dozens of poems from France to English. That's why she has selected the poem of Victor Hugo and translated into English. The Sower is the translation of Victor Hugo's poem here in France, which means Sower means Saison des Semiles. Le Sower, that is the title in French language. It is translated by Toru Dutt from French to English. The Sower is a poem about a farmer who is sowing seeds. He has seen many bad harvests in his life. However, he is so specific and optimistic of having good harvest every time he tosses grain. Overall, the poem, with this description, we get the impression that poem is about the farmer of France. But when you look at the feelings of that farmer, you can understand the universal implication of that poem. The feelings of that French farmers are commonly feel in India. Because of that universal implication of the poem, we can understand the poem is related to sower, and it is also the condition of Indian sower or the Indian farmer. So this is about the introduction of two poets. First is the original one, that is Victor Hugo, and its English translation was done by Tarulata Dutt. So she is Indian, Bengali. That all the information we have gone through. So my dear students, in the next video we will start the poem. So let me read the poem first. The Sower. Look at the first line. Sitting in a porchway cool, sunlight I see dying fast, twilight hastens on to rule, working hours have well nigh passed, shadows run across the lands, but the sower lingers still, old in rags he patient stands, looking on I feel a thrill. Black and high his silhouette dominates the furrows deep. Now to sow the task is set, soon shall come a time to reap. Marches he along the plain to and fro and scatters wide from these hands the precious grain. Muse I as see him stride. Darkness deepens, fades the light, Now his gestures to mine eyes are august and strange. His height seems to touch the starry skies. This is about the poem. So, my dear student, I have read all the poem very seriously, and if you count the lines of the poem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 means poem has 20 lines and it has spatial, it's rhyme pattern, it's very melodious one. Poet has used different types of the symbols, and you can imagine that symbolism or the imaginary which can appeal to your senses. You can visualize the poem as we go, as we analyze the poem. You can feel through your eyes. That is the peculiarity of this poem. So, my dear students, thank you very much. We will meet soon in the next lecture with the analysis of the poem. Thank you.